No Bull is a sports talk podcast that primarily focuses on track and field, with a particular emphasis on upcoming athletes in high school and in the Caribbean. Hosted by Gary Bullard and Courtney Sinclair, the podcast covers a range of topics including news, results, controversies, and other sports as well. With a no-nonsense approach, No Bull provides insightful and entertaining commentary on the latest happenings in the world of sports.
Hello, 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 and welcome back to No Bull with your glorious hosts, Courtney, and also myself, Gary. Today we'll be sprinkling you guys with a few comments on some meets here in the past month and a half, in particularly the Florida Relays, uh, Texas Relays, the Miramar Classic, and the Tom Jones Open. We're also going to talk a little bit about Carifta, the positive and negative. And at this point, we welcome everybody, and I'm going to turn it over to Courtney.
Good morning again, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are. Welcome back. And let's get into it, Gary. Um, we had some fantastic performances out of these meets. Texas Relays, Julian Alfred. What can we say about this? I don't know, she hasn't been on my radar, but all of a sudden everybody's talking about this young lady out of Texas. One and two doing great things. There's another young lady who runs the 100 hurdles who just popped up on my radar, Masai Russell. Not from the Caribbean, she's American, but she won the Texas Relays 100, set a collegiate record. She runs the 100 flats also, runs the 4x1s and the 4x4s. And she's one to watch. What are the athletes or the events that you have that you've been focusing on?
Well, in particular, really, it's a whole gamut between collegiate and also our professional athletes. But in particular, on the Florida Relays, which is probably one of the first ones, Ariane Knighton ran a 9.98 in 100. He actually beat Noah Lyles in that race. And then in that same Florida Relays, my homeboy from the Bahamas, Conk Eden, Stephen Gardner, ran a 20.1 first meet out. So looking for, of course, awesome things from him to beating up on everybody in the world in the 400. Not sure why he doesn't run more 200s. I think his fastest time in the 200s was a 19.6. But he's matching everybody up in the 400. And I know we have quite a few people that he has to go through. I know that Talitha Diggs over there in the Florida Relays ran 100 and 200. She won those. I don't know, you boy Basil. We've been following this heptathlon girl out of Florida. The name is Annie Hall, and she won the 400 hurdles. So she's one to watch out for going forward as well. Raj Benjamin, he ran a straight 400, 44.94. That was back in March. Texas Relays, we saw the resurgence of a girl, Gabby Thompson. She won the 100, 200. Not particularly good times, but hey, it's first race of the year.
You mean Gabby Thomas?
Gabby Thomas, I'm sorry.
Right.
Yes, sir. And then, of course, my other man from the Bahamas, Freeport, Bahamas, 6'2" horse out of Texas Tech, my alma mater, Terrence Jones. He is now one of the fastest men in the world. He ran a 9.91. Les Wynn versus Seville over at the Miramar Classics. So my man, 20 years old, is one of the fastest runners right now. He won the 60. Of course, we recanted this. We run the 60. He won the 60, sorry, in the NCAA Nationals. And he also ran the 200 in the Texas Relays. So he is out there. He is out there. And I know that you were behind Seville and Blake. They ran a 9.91, 9.93 in the Miramar Classics. Christian Coleman, trying to get his strength, won the 200 there. He actually beat Benerick, who ran a 20.37. And then how could we not talk about Sha'Carri Richardson?
Sha'Carri,
10.57 win aided.
Sha'Carri, Sha'Carri.
Yes. And then White Lightning was in that meet. She ran a 22.23. Not impressed with the time, but it was her first 200 out of the blocks there. I don't know if I should mention that Sharika Jackson got beat up in the quarter. She didn't come
Yes,
first, second. Oh, she came third in that.
yes.
I'll for her. I heard that that's her last 400. So now she's going to be concentrating on the 1 and 200. So we look forward to that.
As I mentioned, I'm not sure if I mentioned it to you, but today we have Velocity meet in Jamaica. They've been running these series of meets throughout the year. So this is Velocity 13. So we'll have Tina Clayton. As a matter of fact, we'll have the Clayton twins. We'll have Brianna Williams. We'll have Elaine Thompson, and we'll have Sharika, all lining up. Maybe not in the same heat, but all running the 100 today. So we'll have a better gauge as to where these athletes are in Jamaica. So we're looking forward to that.
So, and talking about that, talking about Jamaica, talking about a couple runners that you mentioned in a couple early podcasts that you're high on. We put the no bull stamp on Johan Blake. So you need to recant that. I'll let you do that on your own. But what I'm most
I'm not
surprised
sure.
at,
Wait, I'm not sure if I'm going to recant that yet. Like I said, everybody's running today. So today, after today, if he does nothing today, then I say fine. No bull, he's out. He tried, but he's
he,
not back. So we'll see
Courtney,
today
he's
after
done
the
nothing.
test.
Yeah, you keep thinking that he's done nothing for years, for
Yeah,
years, and
yeah.
all of a sudden you want him to come back. Right now he's just running for money. Bless his soul. But what I'm most concerned about is a young lady that you've been talking about year after year. And I'm looking at the Miramar Classic. I'm expecting to see her run. And lo and behold, this gal has a mic in her hand, interviewing athletes coming
that
off
was
the
very
track.
disappointing. That was very disappointing.
What's up with that, man?
That was very
What's going
disappointing.
on?
She supposed to run today, like I said, in the Velocity 13. So I
Okay.
don't know if she just wasn't ready. She had a niggle or whatever it was, because she was scheduled to run in that meet. So we're not sure what that was about. So today, if she does run, we'll have a better gauge as to where she's at. She got beat in an earlier velocity by Tina Clayton. Didn't look good at all. So as a matter of fact, she came third. She got beat by Tina. She got beat by one of our runners out of India who trains in Jamaica into third. So she did came third in the meet, but didn't look good. So let's see. Let's see.
Well, I'll let you see.
Yep.
I don't see nothing to go on with that.
Yeah.
Y'all turned
That
into an
that they
announcer.
the meet comes on about 4:30, 5:30. I'm going to watch and see where everybody's at. What I'm disappointed about, talking about Jamaican runners, Shelly was supposed to run in Botswana, but she had a family emergency. We're not sure what that emergency is, but she had to pull out of that meet, so she won't be running next weekend in Botswana. So that's a
Oh
big
wow.
disappointment. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
she apologized. and we'll find out in the next day or maybe even today what that emergency was, why she's not able to go to Botswana. But so she hasn't run anything this year yet. She hasn't opened her season yet, so we don't know where she's at.
That's
Last
correct.
year, last year she opened in I believe it was in Nairobi. Um, Very good time. She ran against two of the athletes who were banned this year, Mboma and Masalinga, who got banned
Right, right.
because of the new rules on testosterone levels in the female athletes and stuff like that. So she planned to do the same thing again this year, open in Africa, and then build her season from there. But now I don't know if this is going to be a setback for her or what. But we'll wait and see on that also.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Yep.
What about Carifta?
Carifta. Carifta. I was just looking at the stats for Carifta. Jamaica has dominated Carifta. They have we're Carifta. This was the 50th anniversary of Carifta, and of that 50 years, Jamaica has won 44 years, 37 years in a row. The next closest team to Jamaica has been the Bahamas, who has won 4 times. The only other team to have won a Carifta event was Bermuda. So it is surprising that we haven't. It hasn't been closer. Last year we won with 90 plus points. I mean 90 plus medals. This year it was 77. There was a lot of controversy with the meet in the Bahamas. A lot of shenanigans, according to the Jamaicans. Um, a lot of
What do
questions
you
about.
think? What did you see?
I saw questions about the officiating and the starter. One particular race, 4x1 men's under 20 men's. 8 runners in the race. 7 runners got out of the blocks and were 3/4 of the way to handing off the baton for the first exchange. The Bahamas runner never left the blocks. The starter called the race back. No false start, nothing. Called the race back because the Bahamian runner never got out of the block. All 7 other athletes were 3/4 of the way handing off the baton and nothing. Called the race back. Everybody was a little bit tired. Didn't even give them time to gather themselves. Restarted, and the Bahamas ended up coming second to Jamaica. The Jamaican athlete ran a fantastic final leg to overcome the Bahamas runner. But it was the Jamaican athletes left not happy. They didn't like the way the
Why is
crowd.
that?
They didn't like the way the crowd treated them. They didn't like the officiating. There were a lot of stuff. Even with I believe it was a runner from might have been Antigua. I can't remember what country it was, where he was in the start the call room and they wouldn't let him on the track. That's a guy who ended up running by himself after the fact, after the race, because according to the call sheet, he was not in the call sheet. I believe he came third in his heats or whatever, and he qualified on time, and he should have been on the start list, but he went to the call room, and they wouldn't let him on the track. All they protested, they put another runner from another country who didn't qualify in the. So there was a lot of things that wasn't quite kosher with the meat, and it's something that we have to look at with the. I don't know if it was hometown bias or what it was, or just exuberance from the judges and the fans, but um, some of the other countries, Jamaica in particular, didn't feel welcome, didn't feel embraced. I remember I watched last year in Jamaica, and Adija Hodge, a young girl out of the Virgin Islands, I tell you about, she got some of the biggest cheers because we just love good athletes, and once you're good, we're gonna cheer for you if you're a hometown or not. and we didn't feel that from the Bahamian crowd this year.
I don't know, Corey. I think we're talking tomatoes, tomato.
We are, but
You know, when you're not running in your own home place, sometimes people make mistakes. So sometimes some of these coordinators or people officials on the track they make mistakes. That happens. You know.
it
So,
happens.
but
But I've
and the
never
thing
seen
is that
I've never seen where seven athletes start the race, one doesn't, and the race is called back, and there isn't a false start.
oh no, I understand. I understand it to the point that the officials saw something after those guys started to say, hey, something's wrong. And it's not the Bahamian runner. He saw something in the other seven runners. And that's icing.
Nobody,
So I
nobody
call
was
that
disqualified. There was
no
no
bull.
false start. There was no false start. Nobody was
It
disqualified.
happens.
Nothing.
Hey,
In
that
a, in a,
happens.
in a,
That
in another
happens.
race, the four by the men's under 20 men's 110 hurdles. After the race, the Bahamian team complained. They said the Jamaican winner, the guy who won, false started. They protested it. We protested their protest. They said no, it wasn't him. It was the Jamaican guy who came third who actually false started. But there was no footage. There was no official footage for this one race. Every other race, they had the official footage where they could go back and watch and see the start and what happened. This one race, they didn't have any
And
official footage.
and, and, and yeah, again, mistakes are made. We can't.
All
None
right,
of us are
all right.
perfect. Whatever I'm hearing right now is just sour grapes. I mean, the country comes in
No,
here, Jamaica, bust up on everybody, and you guys walk away like you got defeated and you won. I don't understand. But I'm
we
confused.
are not happy because we got disqualified for the under 17 boys and girls 4x1s. We got disqualified for both of those races. That we won on track but got disqualified. Supposedly after the race for passing outside the zone. Well, no question. Um, we said, okay, fine. We're gonna win the 4x1 girls and boys for under 20s. We won all 4x4s. So we got mad. I mean, like I said, last year we had 90 plus medals. This year we only won with 77. The Bahamas, I believe, ended up with 40. That was the closest to us. But the
So
athletes,
listen,
it's not it's not
with
it's
all
not that it's not that the country is disappointed. It's that the athletes are disappointed because they went there to compete and do their best. And if they're not offered that opportunity, then why bother?
well, it's not
It's
a
the
question of
athlete.
why
It's the
bother.
athletes. It's the athlete. It's the athletes we got to look about. It's not about if Jamaica wins or not. The athletes go travel from Jamaica to wherever and compete. So how do they feel when they're false started and they didn't, or they're disqualified for something that they didn't do? They feel that the home team is cheating. So it's not as if the officials are bothered. It's the athletes themselves.
Well, I can tell you firsthand experience. I definitely understand that. I know. What was it 92 or 96? I had broken my arm. I was going to Texas Tech, and I broke my arm. But yet I qualified for the Olympics, the standard that the Bahamas had set. And these guys didn't put me on the team, so that was a big hoorah. So I understand disappointment, as far as not being treated right or the correct thing isn't done. And I know our
Yep.
boy Basil, he had occurrence with the Bahamian officials. I mean, we're from the Bahamas, so things like that
Right.
happen, but they happen everywhere. It's a part of life, and it's how you step back up.
It should not
Case in
happen. It
point, I
should
don't
not
know if you
happen. It
remember
should
Roy.
not. It should not happen,
Well,
and
it
we
it
should
does,
not.
it does.
But but
It's happened
we
in the
should.
past.
It has
Look at
been
Roy
done.
Jones. Look at Roy Jones in the Seoul Olympics when he beat that boy mercilessly,
Mhm.
and they took it away from him. They took it away from him. Things like that happen, It's
So
how can we make it better?
are you saying it's just a status quo and we should just accept it and move on?
It happens every once in a while, but when
And we
the younger the athlete, the better we should try to protect them. I agree with that. I definitely agree with young athletes. To hopefully they mature better in what's going on in the world. That we should be able to protect them more. And some of the things you're saying, like I said, it could have been a mistake or it could have been uh, whatever. But like I said, we have to move on and have
Yeah, it's done.
conversations on how we can make it
It's
better.
done. It's done and dusted, and that's one thing that Carifta has to look about, and other me's
Right.
have to look about is that there is a fairness, and if they can bring in independent officials to officiate these events, then that would be perfect. So
I
you
agree
said
with
you're
that.
looking forward. We looked at a couple of these races. You said you're looking forward to the Michael Johnson meet this weekend.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Where
I mean,
where is
most of the
that?
people that we have, all of my people that I put on my list so far are excelling. White
Okay.
Lightning. I mean, no matter how close it is, she's winning. I mean, I don't have any athletes doing any announcing on the side. I don't have any athletes that haven't performed in 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 years. So I'm in a good standing here. I'm just trying to help you out.
Let me ask you let me ask you one question. Where are you from again?
Where am I from?
Yeah.
Oh well, I'm actually a dual national, Courtney.
Okay.
I was born in the United States, but my roots are from the Bahamas.
It sounds like you are rooting for the American team. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like
No, no, no. I'm confused. Didn't I start off by talking about Stephen Gardner
you
and
did,
also talking,
but you go
talking
back.
about our new Bahamian sprinter, Terrence Jones?
You did
Oh, okay.
fantastic. Fantastic,
All
but
right.
you always go back to Abby Steiner. Wow.
Yep. You know why?
Always go back to Abby Steiner.
Because she's doing it. She's doing it the right way.
Okay.
And one of the athletes that I haven't brought up or spoke about from Europe, or is she from Switzerland? Is Kambunji. She's been running for X amount of years, and she's doing it the right way. Love her, love her, love her. She's awesome. She's always in the finals, and that's what you like to see. You want to see people following in Shelly Ann's footsteps as being humble, being a
Yeah, but
queen.
you could say the same thing about the British athletes, Dina Asher Smith and the other young lady out of England.
It's only a handful. Yeah, I agree. It's
Yeah,
only a handful. It's only
you
a
hear
handful.
nothing about them. Yeah, they're quiet and they keep their head down and they compete and they go about their business. You never hear any. You never see
Shakari.
any Shakari. Oh, my girl Shakari.
When she ran the relay and the last 5 steps, she pointed a hand up at Gabby, like, "What? You
Yeah,
didn't catch Hobbs?" And then when she ran that 10.57, she put her hand up.
she put her hand up.
So
She is just. I don't know what it is about her. She just, like you said, she needs to humble herself. Definitely.
yeah, that's not. I don't think that's gonna happen.
It's not in her makeup, huh?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Or coaching staff or someone has to. But let me ask you. Let me ask you this. I mentioned Masai. Have you seen this young lady run? She goes to Kentucky,
Yes, yes.
and she
Once you
does.
said Kentucky,
Yep.
now
Yep.
now now I know what you're talking about.
As a matter of fact, she has a vlog that I started following, and she was in the Bahamas with your girl, Devine Charlton,
Charlton.
for Carifta. She went there to train and just to hang out, take a break during Carifta. Um,
Awesome.
Yeah, so she was they were showing her training and stuff. Um, so um, looking forward to see what she could do because we have Amasan, we have a couple of the Jamaican runners. Um,
Now,
so looking for
what college did she go to?
Kentucky
Okay, all right. So that's the same college that
as Abby Steiner. We know,
Abby Steiner,
we know, we know, Gary.
Sydney. What's her
We
last name?
know.
What's Sydney's last name?
Sitting in McLaughlin.
Okay, she went to Kentucky.
we
Also,
we know,
Kenny Harrison went to Kentucky.
we know. Kenny Harrison. That's a young lady that used to train with my sister in New York
Oh wow.
when she was young, much younger. My sister had a track club in New York back in the 90s, 2000s. She's been in Georgia. Well, earlier, for a while back, she was a teacher and she ran track in college also. And when she got injured, she and a couple people started a track club. So yeah, yep. So track has been in my family, in my blood. I didn't run track. I chose football, soccer. So I didn't run track, but love
Okay.
track. Love track. Yep.
Well, we have caught up quite a bit here. Um, so I mean, we're going over Carifta, we're going over a few meets. So with our next episode, I think we're going to be talking about some European athletes and one or two meets that happened today on the weekend. But I'm
Yeah,
definitely
there
sad,
are a bunch of meets
definitely,
today. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'm definitely sad about, Shirley Ann. Hopefully everything works out there
Right.
with her family because, we're all looking forward to seeing her run and bust up on people.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
so I think that in the next couple months, we're going to start seeing more of the top names battle each other. Right now, everybody is picking and choosing their meets just to see where they're at. But
Right.
now we're going to go into meets where you have two, three, maybe four or five of the top runners in that sprint race or whatever it is. So, and then we got to start talking about some of the field events.
Oh, definitely,
So
definitely, definitely.
we're all encompassing. So
Before we go, let me ask you a quick question. Give me
yes,
your
sir.
top three or four Caribbean performers so far in the early season. Male, female,
Um,
whatever. College, high school.
definitely
Yep.
Alfred.
Definitely Alfred.
Definitely Alfred. Definitely Terrence Jones.
Yep.
Um, ooh.
Gardner.
Well, Gardner is in college. I thought you said just college.
No, no.
No.
College pros, high
Oh,
school,
oh,
college
oh,
pros.
oh. Okay, yeah. Gardner, Charlton,
Hmm.
and man, the Jamaican girls haven't done any real running yet.
Yeah, they
So,
haven't done much yet.
so
Yeah.
I mean, but they will here shortly. I mean, that's what I have right now. Those four.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I would just add Seville on the men's side. He's not looking bad. He was at
Okay.
Miramar, not looking bad. Young boy out of my high school alma mater, Bawaji and Nkrumah. He should be running today. So he had an injury after at Carifta trials. So he pulled up. I'm sorry, he pulled up at Carifta actually. He made a team. He pulled up in the Bahamas in the
Oh
in
wow.
the in the prelims.
Okay.
He won his heat, but he pulled up, didn't participate anymore. So
Okay.
looking forward to see if he's back and how he does today. So he should be going against Oblique, the other Blake, Akeem, not Johan this time, but Akeem.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely not Johan. You
no,
come into my side.
not quite.
Definitely not
Not quite.
Johan.
Not quite yet. So after today, we'll have a much better gauge as to where all these athletes are. Like you said, we'll take a look at Europe to see where all the Europeans are.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
Looking forward to next weekend, the Botswana meet, to see because a
Yep.
lot of big names are going to be participating in that, even though Shelly Ann pulled out. So got a bunch of meets to look at, see what times these people are running, and get excited, man. Get excited. It's starting to heat up.
Booyah! I agree.
Starting to heat up. All right, folks. That's it for this episode. We'll catch you on the next one. Y'all take care. Have a good one. Thanks.